Here's a really great article from Search Engine Land that talks about Reddit. Reddit's AI search influence goes beyond training data. So essentially, this article talks about how what the difference is between AI training versus AI access versus AI citation, and talking about, and the article, I'm not going to bore you with a lot of the details, but the article, I definitely recommend that you read it on Search Engine Land. But the article essentially talks about how the LLMs, the AI platforms, really do like Reddit because of the kind of the contextual relevancy, and then, as they put it, lived experience. So, and the fact that there's disagreements on Reddit. So what that shows is if there's a topic that essentially it's getting fleshed out one way or another. So it's not like if you have a citation or, if an LLM, whether it's ChatGPT or Gemini, use a non-Reddit source as a citation for information, it's generally speaking, especially if it's a brand's website or company website, it's one approach or it's one way of looking at it. And I think that's what they like, is, for now anyway, that Reddit has that level of, kind of disagreement, but also settling on the consensus for, from a contextual perspective. So I think this is a great article. We love Reddit. But you also have to think, okay, are your customers going to be at Reddit too, right? If you're launching a Reddit campaign only for the intention to show up in an LLM and AI search citations, I'd say you may want to reevaluate it, right? Like, but if your audience is there, like our audience at Brick Marketing is there, so we're active at Reddit. So it makes sense. So I think that's one thing I would kind of also suggest, that when it comes to creating citations, there are many ways to create citations, both brand citations, contextual citations for that brand. But Reddit is one source. But our recommendation is generally, make sure it really ties into your audience as well before you engage in just a Reddit campaign with this one purpose. So, so what do you guys think, Catherine, John?
Yes.
What do you think?
So AI treats your website, for example, as one source of many. Mm-hmm. And Reddit is the same way. It's one source of many. So if your audience is naturally there, and if you're already kind of on Reddit anyway, either being mentioned or because you as a brand have spent time on it, it is worth examining because it has some good content. It can offer the contrarian opinion. It could be another data point to help AI understand how all of your topics interrelate to one another and how everything fits in your industry. And it can just give more fuel for how you're returned in the answers. One thing to be sure of, though, is that Reddit can be unpredictable because it's user created. So if you're present on Reddit, is this something that should be monitored? Because you don't want somebody's misinformation or somebody's maybe a disgruntled customer goes on there and complain. You don't want that to skew the answers and have it churn out wrong information for people that are looking. But it can be a valuable tool to help people understand who you are and what you're about.
Yeah, and what you just said about the reputation management aspects of Reddit are extremely valid and extremely important. And I think a lot of brands really underestimate that one piece. Honestly, what you just said is huge. And so, and this is why, clients sometimes will say, oh, well, you guys charge a lot for your service. Well, there's a reason. Look at how many of these things we have to manage. And Reddit, reputation on Reddit, I mean, if that's relevant to your business, I mean, it's there's moderators there, but things get through. So it is important to keep your eyes on it. So, John, what do you think?
Yeah, I think as of right now, Reddit's a great place to be, and it is getting cited by AI a lot. But I've been saying this a lot that I don't think that that's going to be the case in the future, and it's because Reddit and Vimeo, or not Vimeo, sorry, Reddit and LinkedIn have the same exact problem, where at this point it's largely AI generated content, and now AI is iterating on itself, and that's going to become a problem with the quality of your AI responses, right? So I think in the future that it may not be as important in your AI SEO, workflow or whatever. But as of right now, it's a good place for a lot of businesses to be if it makes sense for them to be there.
Yeah. Our advice literally has been, our advice has evolved over the decades, over the years. But generally speaking, it's if it's a place where your audience is, where potential customers or, you need to have your brand visible, that's where you market. So and that's the same thing goes with Reddit. Really does, truly. And LinkedIn, for that matter, for sure.